And I'm William. We are the Digi-Dudes. All right. So, continuing with the month of December here, we are still rocking sport codes. Because like I've mentioned before, all month long, I got a bunch of them. So we are continuing all month with new sport coats. Feeling real fancy. All right. So today's episode is going to be the how to play the new Digimon card game, which it's literally just called Digimon card game. They didn't give it any fancy name or anything. That is what it is. So let's start with the squad update as always.
We have nobody going on right now.
That's not true. My Wing Guardian's Red Vegemon died on me because apparently Red Vegemon is kind of tough to take care of. His hunger bar drops super fast. And if you guys saw on Instagram there, that I had mentioned that it's the first time I raised Red Vegemon, actually. I've never done it before. I don't know why. He's an awesome Digimon. We have one right here in the counter. There. But it was the first time, and I did not realize that. And I let him go basically unattended too long, and he ended up dying on me. So that kind of sucked, but we'll start him back up. And then over here, I now have Witchmon, who is really cool looking. I like it. Oop, we got a little glare there. There we go. That's better. So let's check out Witchmon's attack. We'll check out her close up.
Which one's clunk
The clunk up, you said?
Yeah, the clunk up.
That's cool.
Tickle.
It's looking really cool. I like it.
Tickle. Oh, yes.
All right. So now we got all that out of the way. Let's get into the new card game.
I love my duck.
Nobody can understand him because he's crazy. All right. So Digi-Dude is using the yellow starter deck is what he has right now. Just to start off and to teach him the game and all, we are rocking the yellow starter deck for him. Nothing fancy or special about it yet or anything. I know he wants to build a purple deck, so you can use Devimon in it.
And Pico Devimon.
Yep, and Pico Devimon. And I had built myself a red deck, is what I am playing. Here. Mine is a custom deck, which I've been working on with some really awesome guys online. I've had a lot of great feedback from people who've been playing the game overseas already, and some people have been playing online. I had an idea on how the game worked. I knew how to play the game before the cards came out. But as you guys know, until you actually get your hands on the cards and you start playing, your ideas in your head don't always work out the way they do in-game. So with some help from other people who've been playing and know how the game works and how the meta turns out being for the game, I was able to build a deck with what I have that I like and I'm comfortable with. Here, a special thanks out there to Jabber John. If you guys don't know who he is, he's an awesome Digimon YouTuber. Check out his YouTube. I'll have a little thing here. You guys can see him there. I'll have a link down in the description for you actually guys to click on his channel and check him out. He's a really cool guy. He does some really awesome videos. Okay, so now that we got that little bit done, let's actually go into the 4 types of cards you'll be playing with in this game.
So there's blue cards, purple cards, yellow cards, black cards, red cards, blue cards, and electric cards.
All right, so let's start with Tamer cards. Tamer cards are literally just the Digimon Tamers, but they're basically a card. They are a card that stays on the field. They're a constant effect. Once they get played, they stay on the field. They're a constant effect there. let's look at our option card.
It's Hornbreaker.
It is not. These are our option cards. They all say option on the top, and they all have like these dark blue back, was it kind of borders around them there? Your option cards are basically your one-time use effects. Once they're played, then they go to your trash, as it's called in this game.
It's actually kind of meant to put my trash.
I agree. I don't like that they call it trash, but it is what the game is referred to. And then now, you have two different types of Digimon, really, is what it is. You have your baby levels, and then all your other levels. The back of the cards are actually different for them because there are two different decks, is what they are. If you guys actually noticed when I held up Digi-Dudes in mine, they're in different colored sleeves here, is because you have your baby deck and your full deck. In the Japanese one, they refer to it as what they are, Digitamas. It's your Digitama deck. But because this is the English game and to not make anything confusing, I'm going to use all of the English dub translations for everything, just to make it easier, because that is what's written on all of the cards. And those are your 4 types of cards you'll be playing with in this game. Here.
You're Beermon or Smush Cheekmon.
I'm Beomon or Smush Cheekmon, apparently.
Yeah,
Okay. So, now that we got that done, let's go into the different colors. There are 6 different colors, as Digi-Dudes screamed out a minute ago.
Yes, the screen.
Let's chill it out a little bit. Okay, so people can understand. There's green, there's purple, there's blue, red, yellow, and black. Each color has basically a different play style for the game. Green, they're more of the spammy style of play. There are a lot of low-cost Digimon in there that you can get out quickly. For purple, they're Digimon that play off the trash or your graveyard area there. They like to put a lot of cards in the graveyard or your trash, as it's called in this game. And they like to pull a lot out from there also because of that. Yes.
But that actually kind of fits with evil Digimon, like when a Digimon gets beaten and then you can just put it right out.
It does. It is kind of fitting for them. And the purple cards do have a lot of the darker evil Digimon in them. Blue likes to manipulate your Digi-memory. They like to, it's basically like your energy ramp type of play style. Red is your more aggro play style. They have a lot of cards that bump up your attacks and then hit hard for attacks. There. Yellow likes to manipulate your security Digimon a lot. And they like to lower your opponent's attacks a lot, is what they do. And then black, I'm not really sure exactly what black is does myself. That one's a little weird. They're a little funny with their abilities there. So now that we went through the different colors, the different types of cards, let's actually now kind of explain how the game works. Yes?
Looks like that card has wings.
Oh, because of the Pico Devimon sticker behind it. Yup. So now let's start talking about the actual game, and a lot of what I just said makes a little more sense then. Here. So the way you actually win the game is to drop your opponent's security, is what it is. So when you first set up the game, you pull your Digitamas, or your Digimon babies, as it's called in this deck. You pull them off to the side from the rest of your deck. Shuffle them up, and they go on one side of the field. Then the rest of your deck gets shuffled up and goes on the other side. There. Then the next thing you do before you draw any cards is you pull 5 cards off the top of your deck and set them aside over by your Digimon babies. Here. That is your security. And every time your opponent goes to attack you, they're trying to remove your security and drop you down to none. And that's how you win the game. Is that once your security drops down to 0, then they are able to attack you directly to win the game. And then after you do that, you draw 5 cards for yourself, and that's your hand there. As you see here, on the front of the, up here, we have these fancy little cards. Each of the starter decks come with your Digi-Memory cards. The booster packs also came with them too. You need, at least to keep track of them for the game. You don't need these cards in particular. They match up here. They come as a set together. 1 for player 1, 1 for player 2, as it says here. I've seen a lot of really nice play mats out there, and they have the Digi-Memories like printed right on the play mat there. And the way it works for your turn is that each one of your cards has a cost on them. Here. And your cost is your Digi-Memories. You use your Digi-Memories to pay your costs for the cards. So then, like I said, Blue likes to ramp up your Digi-Memory, and they'll give you extra Digi-Memory, which then it'll increase. And then you have that to use. And once you cross over 0, it goes over to your opponent's turn, and that's where they start with their Digi-Memory. So now that we kind of explained that a little bit and how that works, let's actually go into the cards themselves here. To play your babies, that happens in the beginning of the turn, right after you draw, but before you play anything. All you would have to do is just flip over one of your babies out of your deck there, and that goes into what they call your Digivolving zone, which would be over here off to the side. And then there is basically a safe zone. Those Digimon can't be affected by anything until they're removed from your Digivolving zone. And to remove your Digimon from the Digivolving zone, that happens at the same time, basically, you would play the Digimon in the Digivolving zone. So before you actually do any actions in the beginning of that turn, you just remove them from there. Babies cannot be played as an active Digimon. They have to be at least rookie level to do that.
I would normally wait until I'm mega level and then play them.
You like to wait in, you get to be mega level. Because again, it's a safe zone. They can't be affected in that area. So then, let's go over the Digimon card itself.
There's Picodemon in it.
Yep. Here's Picodemon. It's a rookie level. It says it's a level 3. If you look at a baby Digimon here, they say they're a level 2. And a level 3 digivolves into a level 2. Adult level is a level 4. Or, was it champion level for the English dub, sorry. The ultimate level is a level 5, and then your megas are level 6, is the way they work. And you have to go in order of what they are. Here. When you there's 2 costs on each card. There's your Digivolving cost, and then the play cost. Your Digivolving cost is just what it costs if you wanted to Digivolve into it. So most rookie levels are all 0 cost. You can just play them as a Digivolve. And then they have varying costs for the actual straight play costs. You can just play any card. Like if I wanted to, I can just drop Machine Dramon here for 12 Digi-Memory if I have that much memory available. Because I would have to have it into my zone and then cross over. So for instance, if I'm on 0, you can play off of 0. Don't think that once you hit 0 memory, your turn's over. No, it's when you cross over to the other side is when your turn ends. So, if I have him and I have 3 Digi-Memory, I can drop Machine Dramon for that 12 cost that he has there and play him right out of my hand. Machine Dramon is actually one of those Digimon that has one of the effects I want to talk about on here. It's called an on play. Some cards say on play, then their effect triggers. That means when it's played from your hand, not digivolved. That is a separate type of effect. Like for instance, this War Growlmon right here's effect says when digivolving, he gets his effect. And then now, you guys have probably noticed this little bottom area here. As I showed you the top ones, they have effects. This little bottom area, you're probably going, what's that? What does that do? That's your inherited effects. When you digivolve, you like to stack the cards like this. So you can see the Digimon's inherited effects underneath if they have any. So then your inherited ability then is an ability that now your Digimon carries over through all of its evolutions now. Right?
Yep.
So then, for instance, like I said, we put Pico Devimon, just as an example here, on top of him. Now, Pico Devimon would now gain whatever that ability would be if it qualified. There is the way that works. And you can carry those abilities and effects up through your evolutions and be able to stack them there to create like a really powerful, like mega level Digimon, right? Let's go over the mechanics of the game a bit and go over the actual gameplay. Oh, before that, let's go over one more type of card that I didn't mention. This Machine Dramon actually has the ability here called Blocker. The game is still new, so all of them explain the abilities there, but I think as the game goes on, they're just going to use the terms for a lot of these different effects that are just kind of like a part of the game mechanics. But blockers are Digimon that can block attacks, basically. Because we are going to go over that right now on how this actually kind of works. So let me clean this up. Okay, so now we got a little setup here of the game. We have my deck and a little setup to kind of show you guys how this goes. Because I don't know for you guys, a lot of you guys out there, but for me in particular, I need to actually see and go through more than be explained to learn. It's just how I learn. How about you?
Me too.
Yeah. So, let's go through a little mock game real quick. And we'll explain all the mechanics and everything we just went over. The one thing I do want to mention is that when the different colors can only be used with each other. So, red Digimon can digivolve into any red Digimon. It doesn't have any set evolution lines like a lot of cards or the VPATs or anything like that. It's just any red child, any red rookie can digivolve into any red champion level. Doesn't matter. But it has to be red if you're playing with the red ones. And same thing with using the option cards. You have to have a red Digimon on the field in order to use a red option card. You can mix colors in the decks. There are multicolored decks. But for simplicity and a lot of times things that work smoothly together, a lot of people play monocolored decks. For us in starting, we're going to stick with the monocolored decks for us. But you don't have to. You can splash in different colors, different Digimon, but I just want to let you guys know that. So the first thing you're going to do when you start the game is after you get your setup here, you got your deck, you got your baby deck, you got your Digi-Memories on the field, you got a little counter for them. I use a die is what we use. Now we're going to get our security cards. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You don't look at them. They're just off to the side now. And now we pick up our hand. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. A little tired?
Yeah.
So the first thing we're going to do is now in the beginning of our turn, after you decided who goes first, we're going to flip over our baby. You would normally need more room than this to play, but I just kind of got it crammed together a little bit for fitting on the camera here so you guys can see. So now we flipped over our baby at the beginning of the turn, right after your draw there, before you play anything else. And again, if this was anything higher than baby level, anything higher than a level 2, so like 3 or up, this would also be the same time you moved them into your active area there. The only time you can do that is to move a Digimon from your raising area, as it's called, or your Digivolving area, is into your active area, is during this time. They do not have any summoning sickness by doing that, though. So you can basically attack right away with doing that. If you play a Digimon straight from your hand, they have a summoning sickness. They have to wait 1 turn before they can attack. The effects and all that still take place if they activate, but they can't attack that turn. So let's take a look at the cards I have in my hand. I've got an option card. I got a couple different rookie levels. I got a mega level and a champion level. So for my first turn, what I'm going to do is for 0 cost, I'm going to Digivolve into Piomon here, or Biomon for the English dub. On whoever goes first and starts the game off, you always start at 0 Digimemory. There, just letting you guys know that. And you don't draw a card on your first turn. Second player, whoever goes second, draws a card on their first turn, and everybody will draw a card every time. But you do draw when you Digivolve. Every time you Digivolve, you draw a card. I got myself a nice Metal Greymon. So then now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this Biomon crossing over into my opponent's Digimemory for the 2 costs that it has. Now, I could have Digivolved again into this Cordramon if I wanted, costing 2 Digimemory. That you can do. You can Digivolve as many times as basically you have memory allowing you to. I personally, for this example, just chose to play another rookie to let you guys know that you can also play another card. I could have dropped this Volcanodramon for 11. Well, not 11 because I didn't have 11 memory. I only had 10 if you count the 0 there. But I could have dropped somebody higher. I could have played this Metal Greymon directly from my hand. There's no reason you have to play rookies to start on the field here. You can play anything you have the Digimemory to play. And then now, say it's my turn. Say my opponent used up to 1 Digimemory, leaving me to start with 1. You don't want to leave your opponent with too much memory to use. That's a key factor in this game. You got to plan out your strategy based on that too. So then now, I would draw a card. And now if I wanted to move this Piomon into my active area, now would be the time to do that. If I decide not to, we just move past that phase. And then say I just want to Digivolve into this Cordramon this turn. I can. And now I go 1, 2, moving on to the 1, because that 0 counts as a spot on your Digimemory. There. Now say it's my turn again, and now they used up to 0. I would start at 3 Digimemory. Is the way it would work. You start. If they leave you at 0 and they don't cross over that line, you just start at 3. Is where you start your Digimemories at. And then now, we've got a little more Digimemory. I got a little more to do. If I wanted to, I can then now Digivolve into this Metal Greymon here, putting me at 0, and then for 2, play another Piomon. There. And then just pick a random number again, start me at 3 again. Now say I want to move this Metal Greymon up to my active area. I do that right before I draw. I did forget to draw a card when I played Metal Greymon. Don't forget to do that when you Digivolve. Every time you Digivolve, you draw a card. And then you could even Digivolve on the field here. So if I had this Piomon out here and I wanted to Digivolve into Cordramon from my hand, and Digivolve in my raising area, you absolutely can. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. They don't have to be in your raising area to do your Digivolving. So say now you wanted to attack. You could attack with any one of your active Digimon you have out here. All you have to do is turn them sideways to let everybody know they're attacking, and you attack. When you attack, what you're actually doing is attacking their security. So they would flip over a security card here. As you can see in the bottom here of the card, it's got this little lock with a heart on it. That's a security effect. Your option cards and your tamer cards all have security effects on them. At least not all of them, but most of them do. And the ones you're probably going to want to play definitely do. For instance, Gaia Force here says, security. Activate this card's main effect. And then Gaia Force's main effect would be delete one of your opponent's Digimon. So basically, I'd just be able, you rolled into my security here, I would destroy one of your Digimon for doing that, is what this card says. And then it just goes to trash. Say I get attacked again, because a lot of times you want to do multiple security checks in one attack, or one turn in particular too. Red decks really like to do that. The whole point of my deck is to amp up my Digimon's DP there, which is, I didn't go over actually, here on the top. That is your actual attack there on the top of the card. You want to amp up your Digimon's attack is what red does, and you want to do multiple security checks with one Digimon. So say now I did that, I flip over. Now I revealed this tamer card. This tamer card says it just puts it in play is what its security check does. And say you did 3 security checks. I flip over again. Basically, what I am trying to show you and trying to look for is a Digimon. If you got a Digimon out of your security check, basically then what you are now doing is you're going to battle against that Digimon. And if you are stronger than that Digimon, it just dies and goes over to the trash. But if you're weaker than that Digimon, you both go to the trash. So you would lose your attacking Digimon and the card you ran into. Sorry, I got a little tickle in my throat. Also goes to the trash. Any Digimon that you reveal on a security check goes to the trash. So once your security runs down to 0, then your opponent is able to attack you directly, and that's game. Once they do that, it's over. I mentioned the Digimon that have the ability Blocker, like this Corgimon, for instance, has it right here.
And my Unimon.
And your Unimon in your deck does, you're right. Blocker is a Digimon that's active on the field who can block attacks. You basically just tap them sideways there, and you can choose to block the attack instead of it going to your security. And that's all that really comes down to the game. Overall, the game is pretty simple if you stop and think about it. It might seem complicated to first hear it and learn it, but to sit down and actually start playing and get going, the game's pretty simple to actually play and understand. There. What do you think of the game? Have you been liking it?
Yeah, I like it so much. I like the designs of the cards. I like it so much, like the slippery foot.
So weird. So weird, child. Yeah, honestly, I knew you liked the game. We've been playing non-stop since I built my deck and actually got into playing here. We've been playing constant. We spent all day playing. All right. What I want to know from you guys, though, is now that you guys kind of have an understanding of the game a bit there, is what color do you want to play? What play style do you guys suit you the best? Let me know down in the comments there. And let me know if you want to see my deck that I had built and do a deck profile on that one. I had posted a picture of it on Instagram, actually this morning there, to show kind of what I have going on at the moment. So if you guys actually want to see it right away, check out my Instagram there. Link is down in the description as always. Follow us on Instagram. We're posting all the time. I've started posting more of this card game now, not instead of just the V-Pets. there, but constantly posting Digimon content. And if you guys want to see, I've been in talks with doing some games through the computer with people on there, doing some live games there. If you guys want to see those, also let me know if you guys have interest in that down in the comments.
Like Digimon World? Like World?
No, which we love that game. We're there all the time in Digimon World playing. No, actually playing the card game with real people. Just playing through the computer on the camera.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, and with that, we are done for the day.
If you're animated, press the thumbs up button and press the subscribe.
If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe one down below, or the one up there by our partners. And you guys have a Digi-Town!